bag, shadow boxing, skipping rope, the double end bag. But all these exercises are basically useless without a good, sound boxing base. In this video, we're going to show you the boxing basics that have stood the test of time and that are in the arsenal of all great fighters. Folks, as with anything, the most important and sound thing you could have is a foundation. And that's the primary essence of boxing. And it's something that I've seen, regardless of the fighters you look at, going back in any era, from Sugar Ray Robinson to today's modern era, a stance and footwork is the most important thing you could have. I'd like to bring in a young guy that's going to demonstrate. David, come on in here. We just want to show you and start off with your basic boxing stance. Now, David, if you take your stance, please. One of the primary things we like to look at, a lot of coaches might not see this right away, but I think I've broken it down in a way that makes it understandable to most people. I like to have the front foot placed in front of the head, which means if you were to take a string and drop it down from the fighter's head, his foot is going to be ahead of his head, and that's very, very important. I don't like a fighter either to have a soft front knee. I like it to be firm, but without being locked, because that's his shock absorption. That's where he's going to be able to push into the ground and be able to apply his weight when he wants to throw a good solid right hand or jab, which is the next thing we'll be working on, but get that base down good. The other thing we want is to have him keep that back heel up. Keeping that back front foot on the ball of the foot where he's going to be able to move. David, if I turn you around a little bit, just face me to this side here. One of the things I want to show you, and I'll use these sticks as an example, and this again becomes structural foundation which must exist. If you don't have this, it will not happen for you. All the exercise and stuff you'll do, you'll find yourself getting hit with shots. You'll find that your defense won't work as well if these things are not in place. And what I'd like to show you here is if we take a stick here, and David, you just bend a little forward. If we take a stick and line him up this way, actually, David, you know what? Turn around the other way. Face me here. Okay. If I take this stick here and line him up, you'll notice that the heel right up until his head, offering a nice line of his body all the way forward. This one acts as the support and crosses right there. This actual stance is a firm foundation right here. This is what you see, and this is where it crosses, and this is the line that the body takes. From that position, David is going to be able to either slide forward to me or slide back. He'll be able to move his body any way he wants without much of a problem, being able to avoid any punches. Also, the key is he's going to be able to execute his punches without putting his range by using that front foot as his measuring stick. This is very, very important. This base here, and you take a look at any of the great fighters in the past, and you will notice, and regardless of the style they used to get into that position, when they throw it, that is the position they're in. And I think the one example you can use on that is if you looked at a young, even when moving, if you freeze frame his shot when he throws the jab, you'll notice that the front foot is in front of him, and when that jab comes out, it lands perfectly before bringing it back. That is the basic boxing stance, and that's the one I like to set my fighters up with. Once you got that, you can build anything from there. Okay, well, you saw the stance, and that's the most important thing. Now, from the stance, you've got to be able to move. And that, of course, is another vital point of boxing. Dave, if you can get back into the stance again, please. Now, right there, again, remember the front foot's in front of you, the back foot, the heel is is up high, providing for good position to move from. From there, this is basic, simple stuff that you've probably seen elsewhere. You want to move to the left? You want to move forward? What foot do you move first, Dave? The forward. You want to move back? What foot do you move first? The back foot. You want to move to the left? What foot do you move first? The left one. You want to move to the right? What foot do you... Good. Now from there, the trick to doing all that is to put it all together. What I try to tell my fighters to do is to put it together in rhythmic fashion. We tell them to rhythm. Let's say it's going backwards and I'm the opponent and I'm pressuring David and I'm pushing David back and I want David to go backwards. He rhythm. Now he comes forward and I want him to rhythm pressure on me. He goes to the right. I want him to rhythm pressure. Or he goes to there. Now, if you notice, the one thing that he does in that is regardless of in which direction he goes, the second foot he moves kind of drags. You move this way, the front foot drags. You move forward, the back foot drags. You move to the left, to the right, the left foot drags. You move to the right foot drags. That's a key thing. That keeps you in as close a contact with the ground as possible. And what you're also doing at that point is you're not doing this stepping stuff. When you do the stepping stuff, what happens is you're actually transferring your weight back and forth. Because how could you be keeping your weight on the front foot if you're actually having to lift it to walk? Do that. That's not good. Staying off your front heel. Can't do that. You got to stay on the ball of your foot. So always try to keep it rhythmic. Always try to keep it moving. Dave, move with me a little bit here. Good. David will apply pressure to me. I'll apply pressure to him. We'll move back. He's always maintaining his optimal range with me. He'll slide off. He'll move back. He has to. This way he'll be able. If the opponent attacks quickly, he'll be able to just bounce away. He'll be able to come right out of the bounce, right back into his rhythm. Dave, if you come in, you bounce away, and then right back into your rhythm. That's it. And into your rhythm. Good. And bounce. That's right. That'll keep him away. Being able to execute that is going to work perfectly when we try to build the foundation for offense and defense. And right off of that, we can start working the left jab. So from there, if David's in his boxing position, what we want to do to throw the left jab, providing that the base is perfect as we spoke of, the front foot is in front where it's supposed to be, ahead of his head, the back heel is up. From there, a slight rotation of the arm and flipping the shoulder over will land a left jab. Now you'll hear a lot of coaches turning around and throwing a jab and say, throw it from your elbow, throw it from your elbow, snap it from your elbow. If you want to guarantee to hyperextend your elbow, that's what you'll do.